Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
What broke him down? Was it just the body punching? I was hitting him with body punching. I heard him actually, he was crying there.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people.
You're saying that Gibbs was crying when you hit him? When did that happen? And perhaps the fourth round on?
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
So that you knew you had him by that time. Absolutely, I knew he was tough and taking those punches.
Productions.
Making women gestures like, oh.
Let's go, champ.
It's the champ, ladies and gentlemen. Hashtag TBV podcast, ThaBoxingvoice.com. We are back with some more morning boxing talk for you. We're going to be talking Anthony Joshua versus Wladimir Klitschko, and Ricky Hatton says it's the right time. There could only be one come April 29th, and we'll discuss what Hall of Fame Ricky Hatton thinks about this fight and which way he's leaning. If this is something you're interested in, well, then you should stick around, because not only will we be talking that, but we'll be also giving you a definitive answer on where and who is going to be streaming this fight for the U.S. and for the United Kingdom and basically all around the world. So let me head on out to the Golden State, to the home of my co-host, the Hipster.
ThaBoxingvoice Productions.
This is a beautiful performance against a very tough guy in Michael Johnson. How do you feel about it?
Fuck that. Conor McGregor.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
You know me, Larry. From a wicked entrance, from a flip over the rock into a knockout. When the main thing is, I just hope the guy. I wish.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Yes, the Hipster's back on a morning edition of the Boxing Voice, and Joshua Klitschko. I mean, to me, it's the biggest fight of the year so far. And Ricky Hatton, I think, has eloquated what this fight is in the most perfect way. You know, it's just the right time. No one lasts forever. No one can go on forever. And Klitschko, without a doubt, a Hall of Famer, the best heavyweight of my era, probably. And this seems like it's his time. And we got a guy like Anthony Joshua, 18-0, all 18 wins by knockout. You know, the guy looks the part. I mean, if you have a creative fighter in Fight Night Champion or Fight Night Round 4 or whatever, and you could create a heavyweight, it would look just like Anthony Joshua. I mean, this seems to be that crossroads fight of not just these two men's career, but also the sport and the heavyweight division as a whole. You know, we thought Tyson Fury, Klitschko was that, and it turned out it wasn't. Could this be that fight to rejuvenate the division, breathe new life in it, bring about a new star in the sport? I think so. It's the right time.
Well, let's get to why we're here. Former two-division world champion Ricky Hatton, and probably first ballot Hall of Famer. I don't know. Most notable for his fights with Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. Good scraps, I believe, with Luis Collazo, if I'm not mistaken. Costa Zoo. Ricky Hatton's been around the block. He knows boxing. And not only that, but he trains and promotes his own stable of fighters. And Matt, he believes that Anthony Joshua is catching Wladimir Klitschko at the right time. What do you think exactly the right time means? I mean, we all know that Wladimir Klitschko is obviously coming off the longest resume of his, longest layoff of his resume. And that's after losing to Tyson Fury. He just hasn't been back in the ring. So is it the right time, the way that Ricky Hatton assumes, or is it the right time for Wladimir Klitschko? Did he get a needed rest? Was he able to rejuvenate his boxing career by, working on his craft in the time off and not having such a hectic schedule? I mean, this is a guy who was openly facing the top 15, taking them on. Whoever wanted to fight, he was giving them for 12 years an opportunity at all the titles.
Yeah, and I don't think it has to necessarily do with the layoff. I think the layoff is actually beneficial. I know our last show when we were talking about the HBO and Showtime deal, what's going to happen there, and we're actually going to get to that because more news came out because of that. But as I digress, I think that Klitschko is just old. I mean, like the simplest way to put it, like the guy's had a very long career. He's over the age of 40. You know, like that I think is more of what Ricky Hatton is saying, is that the loss to Tyson Fury, it was close. Like it wasn't like it was a devastating loss. It wasn't like it was a damaging loss. Like neither guy took a lot of shots in that fight. I think they had to combine 76 punches landed. So it wasn't like it was a fight that takes years off of your career. And plus, I think the layoff is going to be beneficial because it's going to give him some time just to rest at his age. But it's still his age. Klitschko is still, 42 years old? You know, that I think has more of a factor in this fight than anything. A 15-plus year career in the sport, that has more of a factor than anything.
It does. Now, you spoke of some other news that's out there, and let's give the people that as well. Matchroom Sports and Klitschko Management Group have finally solidified a television deal and the rights to the Heavyweight World Championship blockbuster event, which we're talking about, that's going to be taking place April 29th. It's Anthony Joshua versus Wladimir Klitschko. So the I don't know what to call them now. I mean, just thinking about 2017 and first quarters, I mean, it's fair to say the American premium television giants, Showtime and HBO, right? Because it's not just one. I mean, Wladimir Klitschko and Anthony Joshua will have their opportunity at, having millions watching them, because HBO is also going to be doing a telecast, their own separate telecast with their own, commentating team that will fly out. It's not going to be in a studio like in the past. And Showtime as well will do the very same. And the details are as follows. Showtime has the rights to the fight, so they will stream it live at 4:15 p.m. Eastern Time, 1:15 p.m. Matt's West Coast Pacific Time. HBO will telecast it in its prime time at approximately 10:45. So either way, boxing fans win. If it's too early for you at Matt's, just right off of lunchtime at 1:15, and it's just kind of awkward for me at 4:15 when it's kind of like dinner for the average, family. Maybe 10:45 is the time you want to see, or maybe that's too late. Maybe you're old and you go to sleep at that time. But the point is, it's going to be visible to many, not only on Sky Sports pay-per-view, not only on, the RTV and for in Germany for the Klitschko deal.
Yes, I believe so.
I might have that wrong. I don't know. And then again here on HBO and Showtime. Now, you have to remember, these things have never been done before, only with fights the magnitude of Tyson and, Mayweather, Pacquiao, things like that. So it's very, very good. We got some quotes from Eddie Hearns. He says he's delighted to announce this historic deal that will see Britain's biggest ever fight shown on both HBO and Showtime in the U.S. It takes a special fight to break down barriers and boundaries, but also networks and executives who believe in working with the best interests of the fight fans in mind. With obstacles in place, it would have been an easy resolution to not air the fight in the States. But I want to thank HBO and Showtime for their perseverance and to allow Americans to see one hell of a fight at our national stadium in front of 90,000 passionate fans. Joshua versus Klitschko is a fight for the ages, and we look forward to showing it. And you know what? It's a win for Eddie, to have his guy seen on both networks. I mean, what's the downside to having him on both networks? There is none, Matt.
Oh God, no. It's all positives for Eddie Hearn, Klitschko, and Joshua. Even like everyone is on that side of it is gaining positives. There's no negatives from any of the news coming out. Now, you could make arguments that maybe HBO is losing out because from the wording of the press release, it sounds like Showtime is also going to get the rights of it being cataloged on their fight catalog. So Showtime is going to get the right to replay the fight. That's what it seems to be. I could be wrong. I probably need to reread it a couple more times to be sure about it. But that to me is big news. You know, if Showtime has that and the live viewing rights, I mean, Showtime won out big time. And it's been a credible first half of the year for Showtime. And this just is a cherry on top.
Well, for boxing, man. For boxing.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, you have to credit Showtime. I understand that. But, I mean, as a boxing fan, we're just getting it from all angles. And it's actually a breath of fresh air. But getting back to Ricky Hatton's point of Joshua probably getting Klitschko at the right time, my thing is this. Guys that are lesser fighters or have less accomplishments in the heavyweight division, like Dominic Breazeale and Dillian White, they've been able to last about 7 rounds with Joshua. They don't have the experience of Wladimir Klitschko. You know, they don't have the tools either. You know, Dylan kind of throws caution to win. We've seen that in the Chisora fight. And, hey, if we're talking about caution, well, Breazeale has none. We've seen that in the Izunu fight and other fights, you know, with Amir Mansour. So,
but one thing we can say about both those guys, Dylan White and Dominic Breazeale, those guys are durable as fuck. Like, those guys can take punishment. Klitschko, I know he hasn't been knocked out forever, and he even hasn't been dropped or like seemingly wobbled in a long time even. But the guy had a history of a weak chin. You know, he had a Daniel Jacobs-like resurgence and rejuvenation where he just seemingly got a chin. So let's see if it's going to hold up because, like I said at the top of the show, 18 wins, all 18 by knockout. I mean, that is a force of nature coming at you that's really hard to deal with. And at 41, 42 years old, that's a tough battle for Klitschko.
It is. It is. And, you know, you're right. There was speculation on Klitschko's chin early on in his career. You know, Samuel Peters was able to land some shots, but I think that he learned how to box. I think that, you know, he had the late, great Emmanuel Stewart in his corner for some time, and he made adjustments. And I'm not going to lie, clinching is a heavy part of that adjustment. So it's going to take Anthony Joshua and his team to prepare Joshua for the clinching and to try and prevent those clinches from happening. Listen, before we get to the callers, you know this is your favorite part of the show, so why not hit that thumbs up button, letting me and Matt and the rest of the team know that you're enjoying not only the content, but the flow. And you want to get to those callers. Remember, those numbers are 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 just one time if you want to voice your opinion on this topic on the Voice of the People hotline, as well as our international callers. You can add us on Skype by adding Nestor Gibbs. That's NESTORGIBBS. Let's get on out to the sponsors.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
We're going out to Blind Man Brad. Brad, what's going on in Bakersfield? What's shaking, brother?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Call me now.
Just chilling out, man. How you guys doing, Matt? How you guys doing this?
I'm all good, brother. Happy to be talking some boxing. Happy to be, you know, speaking about history, obviously in the making with Anthony Joshua and Wladimir Klitschko, both having this fight now streamed on both HBO and Showtime. So it's definitely a plus and a bonus for us boxing fans. So I'm excited to report that. And then we're just putting a little cherry on top by saying that Ricky Hatton is obviously picking the younger, stronger, 100% knockout ratio in Anthony Joshua. What's your thoughts?
Well, I definitely like Joshua. I would favor him in this fight. It's kind of does this kind of remind you guys of like Joe Smith versus Bernard Hopkins a little bit?
That's a pretty good comparison.
Yeah, similar. Not the same way, but similar. You know, like Joe Smith Jr. Does not have the aurora around him that Anthony Joshua has. I mean, people believe Anthony Joshua is the future of boxing. People don't think that about Joe Smith Jr.
That's the whole the UK fan base, and honestly, his appeal is probably a lot better as well, huh? Like he has would you say he's a better interview
than Joe Smith? Hell yeah.
Yeah, I really look forward to it, man. I mean, how could you not if you're into boxing? This is going to be a great fight, and I definitely looking forward to the Porter versus Berto. That's going to be good.
Agreed. Fight week is upon us. I believe Wednesday is media workout. We'll be all over that. Listen, Brad, let me get to some others. We're going to go to our boomerang in Anaheim here. It is none other than Mr. Yes, sir. What's up, brother? Good day.
How you doing there, bro?
All right.
Good day it is. What's up, brothers? As this fight gets closer, I go away from my normal, I guess 6 months ago feeling of Klitschko was just going to get bombed out. But as I start to think about it more and more, can you guys see Anthony Joshua winning this fight any other way besides knockout?
No, you mean like by decision? And that's unlikely, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think Joshua needs a knockout. And I think if Klitschko can maybe handle that pressure, I don't know how much of a pressure Joshua is. He's pretty consistent, but if he could just handle that weight and the muscle for maybe the first 7 rounds, I think Joshua's going to really be in a mental world of shit because Klitschko he knows how to go in and out with the jab, the distance, and with all that muscle. People are forgetting. Once Klitschko puts that jab and grab on you, Joshua's muscle's going to have to handle that shit. All that oxygen's going to be breathing heavy on him. So this could be the fight where Joshua's great physique could big time backfire on him because Klitschko ain't going to let that big motherfucker just rush him. But is he going to have enough power as an old man to handle holding that mass? And I think I'm going with it. I'm going to go. I didn't know the fight was this soon, to be honest. I thought it was like a second week of May. Fuck, dude. I'm a little biased on this pick too because I want to see Wilder knock the shit out of Klitschko. I would love to see that as American Bomb Squad fan. Oh, and shout out to Wilder getting PR on Wilding Out. Sorry to go sidetrack right there.
I heard that Wilder was going to be on the commentary team in the UK.
He's also going to be on Wildin' Out too. He's on that. I think it's this tonight, right? It's on his Twitter. He's pinged it on his Twitter.
Thursday. So all you American Bomb Squad fans, let's support our champ. I'm going with Klitschko on just pure experience, and I think he's just going to do a cleaner version. Well, not a cleaner version. It can't be a cleaner version of the Povetkin fight, but I think he's going to do that. I'm going with Klitschko. Have a good one, guys.
All right, Javier. Thanks as always, brother. Marcus, talk to us in DC.
Yo, what's good, man? Boxing Voice, you know what it is. Great midday UK show, man. Look, it said the title said, "Is this the right time?" Hatton said, "Is this the right time for this fight?" It's absolutely the right time for it. Let's think about this. Wilder was on his way to a big fight when he tore his biceps in the in-between fight fighting Areola, right? And so King Kong, he had some issues with promotion, but when he got in a somewhat big fight towards a step-up big fight against Jennings, he showed his mettle and got a knockout. Unfortunately, neither one of those two fighters have had the lead up to they haven't had the big fight that they were leading up to. So right now at this juncture with Joshua and Klitschko together, which would have been a perfect matchup for either King Kong or Wilder, it's absolutely the perfect time for the heavyweight division to get this type of fight. It's needed. It was a good fight that Wilder took on his comeback with Joe Washington, a reasonable opponent. King Kong has dealt with who put in front of him, but he hasn't been able to land either Klitschko or Joshua yet. So the fact that Klitschko and Joshua are facing each other, I think it's an outstanding time for them to be fighting. Great timing.
Marcus, as always, brother, perfect call. Moving along. Nelson from the Dominican Republic, calling all the way from my home country live. I love it when you call, Nelson. Gracias por llamar. Háblame.
There you go, bro. That's a close fight between Klitschko and Joshua. I think it's going to be a close fight in the first 5 to 6 rounds. Then I was going to be Joshua because I don't think Klitschko can stand against that strong guy. He's younger, he's bigger. And I think the first 5 to 6 rounds is going to be pretty even. Then after that, it's going to be all Joshua, and he's going to win by KO.
Nelson. All right, brother. Thanks for calling in. Let's get out to New York City. One of the most cut-up Patreons we got out here. Jabron, what's going on?
What's going on, TBV? Great show today. When it comes to this fight, I think about the mentality of both of these gentlemen. What do they have to fight for? If Joshua gets knocked down, what does he have to get up for? And if Wladimir gets knocked down, what does he have to get up for? And as we both know, Joshua has a lot more to get up for than Klitschko because he has nothing else to prove. Now he has a new family with a new child, and he's very active in the politics. So I think mentally, Wladimir probably already checked out. So I'm leaning towards Joshua in this fight. And I'm glad Bomb Squad will be in attendance. So after the fight, maybe we can get a little hype going. And that's pretty much my call. Hopefully I'll see you guys next Saturday. I'll be in attendance in the building. So TBV.
Bomb Squad! Well, Jabron, make sure you wear your shirt so you're easily visible, man. Mr. Boomerang, Mr. Anaheim on the Boomerang check-in back. What's going on? Something struck your attention?
Yeah, I'm over here cleaning the house. I'm just going to go off that last caller, Jabbar's thing. I honestly think if you're a living legend and this is your last thing, you got a lot to get the fuck up off the mat for. If this future boxing guy puts you down, Klitschko has a lot, especially if this is his last living legacy fight to beat the future. That'll motivate your ass to get up because, to be honest, losing to Tyson Fury, the guy who talks so much shit on you for years and years and years, that's going to haunt Klitschko like it's fucking with Manny, with Mayweather. Klitschko needs this win. He's gonna get unless he's knocked the fuck out, he's gonna get off this mat. This would haunt him. Fuck his 12-year reign. This will haunt him bad because he needs with that vindication off that Tyson Fury win. All right, have a good one, guys.
All right, Mr. Yes, sir, on the Boomerang check-in. Well, there you have it. We want to know your opinion on Ricky Hatton thinking that this is the right time. Do you think that Wladimir Klitschko is at the end of his career, or was that time off between the Fury fight and this fight the right amount of time that he might have needed to, get himself back, I guess, in fighting shape? In the right mentality. He's saying all the right things. Then don't forget that this was an added bonus of you being aware, or, we made you aware of the fact that HBO and Showtime both are going to stream this. So you have, 2 different times to watch it, either at 4:15 Eastern, or you can catch it at 10:45 Eastern time, and then the West Coast versions of that, 1:15 and whatever the other one is, six or something like that, right? How many hours are we on you? 7:45. So there you go. So remember, you can always hit the thumbs up button in the past, present, future. Doesn't matter if you're watching this now, later, next week. It helps with the visibility of the show. And we always
remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
We definitely appreciate that. It's awesome sauce. And if this is not enough content for you, this daily show that we do, then you can head on over to Patreon and get more exclusive content never before seen, only on Patreon. And you support the show that you love. Stay on the air. I am your host, Nestor Gibbs. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at NestGTO, and you can catch my co-host at...
You can find me at Mixed Combat News on Twitter and my MMA podcast, Mixed Combat Radios on Patreon, SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes, Facebook, etc. Peace.
Peace.